This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
Oh, it's amazing as you get older, you start realizing that your body's not the way it was, where maybe springtime would come along. I gotta lose a couple of pounds, gonna wear a bathing suit. You jog for a week, you eat a little bit less, you drop 8 pounds, everything's fantastic. Now, fast forward about, 3 decades as you get older, doesn't work anymore. And, sometimes this hurts here and that hurts there. Maybe you can't stretch, bend the way you used to. Imagine if you could get back a lot of that mobility, feel stronger, feel healthier, know that you're eating what you should be eating. Your life feels just balanced, like the way it should be. You can have that when you work with the right person. I found somebody that embodies all of that, right down to nutrition, coaching, accountability, and more. And we're gonna dig deep into this today and in the future as we talk with Mike Redmond, who joins us on the program. How you doing, Mike?
I'm doing great, Steve. Thanks for having me today. Really looking forward to this.
Likewise, and everything I just said is me. I'm not even kidding. Oh my gosh, as you get older, you realize that you can't stretch the same way. Yeah, and you don't realize it until you need to make a certain movement. And I'm going to be transparent here and tell you, Mike, I was more intentional about my fitness and my health like a couple of years ago. I thought I was in really good shape. We've said earlier, desk job, maybe not as active anymore. I
Yeah.
feel like I've gone steps back in terms of mobility. Stuff that didn't hurt previously is now like a little sore or whatever. So important. Stretching as you get older, I'm sure, I'm sure that
Yeah.
you hear the same stuff from the people you work with, right?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And what I try to tell them is it's an ebb and flow process. So, what's hurting now and hurting today doesn't mean it can't be improved tomorrow. Um, and like you said, stretching, that's a great facet. That's a major part of any program. But it's not everything. There's other stuff to do too. So I try to incorporate a total program, total wellness program to focus on all aspects that way.
There's so much that can be tailored to somebody and their physical ability and their likes and dislikes. I haven't tried yoga yet, but I want to, but I'm not feeling it. There's other things I'd rather be doing that I feel apply to me. First and foremost, proper stretching. Yeah,
Yeah,
there's a lot going on there too. When you work with somebody, you can do it virtually too, right?
absolutely. Yes. I try to offer all my services virtually. That allows me to work with people in different time zones. I'm located out here on Long Island, as we were just talking about, Steve's, but I am born and raised on the West Coast. So I have a lot of friends and family in California, Las Vegas, Nevada. So doesn't mean I can't reach people over on that side of the country as well. So
Tell
yeah.
us, tell us about your journey, how you got here, helping people with their fitness, with their nutrition.
Yeah.
You've got a lot of experience. Take us from the beginning.
Uh, I'd say the beginning really started when I was quite young, watching my father battle cancer and his health issues when I was in high school and middle school and high school, really. Um, set the paved the way for me to want to get into the health field and do something with people that really need it. As I saw him go through that battle, I saw the need he needed, health and wellness information, health and wellness guidance. And he didn't always get it. We were in a smaller town at the time. He had to travel a lot for his medical appointments. He even went out of country to get, you know, nutrition advice and wellness and different things to try to help him with that fight against cancer.
Wow.
And it helped. It helped. He lived a lot longer than the doctors thought he would. So it all started around that time when I was about 12 to 14. After that, in high school, I went and got my bachelor's degree at California State University Stanislaus out in the Central Valley, right not too far from San Francisco, where I majored in health and kinesiology, minored in public health and wellness, and then I did my master's at California State University Fullerton, and some of the same stuff, and really focused on clinical health and heart health and so many other facets. So, and then after I finished that, I had a drive to expand and get more into global health and wellness, and that led me to the U.S. Peace Corps, and that's really
Wow.
where my journey took off. Yeah, so I did the 2 years, over 2 years in the U.S. Peace Corps in West
Wow.
Africa, in Cameroon, where I implemented global, health programs, worked on things from everything from HIV and AIDS to malaria to nutrition. I had nutrition projects implemented, and even even planted trees and did some agriculture work and all
Wow.
sorts of stuff there. So yeah, yeah. The Peace Corps changed my life. It changed what I thought I knew about health and wellness. And now I have that more global perspective, and I try to bring that to everything I do. After the Peace Corps, I went back to my hometown for a little bit, worked in a nonprofit, and did some more volunteering there. Um, and worked on health programs, including women's health, including uh, opioid use disorder and things like that, and really branched out that way. And that led me to a job for the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, uh, Health Resources and Services Administration. Long name, but but ultimately under the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, where I managed health programs and even worked on COVID-19 programs and other national programs for the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Wow.
Um, yeah, yeah. So I've
What a
worked on
journey,
health.
Mike. What a
Yeah,
journey.
thank
Ah,
you. Thank you. I've worked on health programs from very small to very large, national, international, and I'm bringing all that to this company now. All that knowledge about designing health programs and wellness programs and helping people um, birth this idea of Redmond Wellness. And that's what I'm trying to help folks with and
I want to
bringing
share
that
with you
perspective.
that I met a gentleman last year, and he's now since retired, but he's still very active in many different areas. And he was instrumental in changing the healthcare system in Massachusetts, right around the Boston area,
Okay.
with working with unions and just changing the model of that, but health related. You know what he attributes his success, knowledge, and awareness to? The Peace Corps. The same thing, the Peace Corps.
Yeah.
Granted,
Yeah.
it was he did it decades before you, um,
Yes.
but that all the time comes up. And I asked him, "What's your advice? For somebody who's younger that, maybe go down the health path or just wants to, give back, whatever." My Peace Corps. There it is. And it's so funny. Like when I was a kid, you hear about it more. You don't hear about it so much anymore. And I don't know why that is. It's kind of off some radars, right?
Yes. Well, before COVID, it was still thriving, maybe not in the public eye, but it
Yeah.
had more members than ever.
Wow.
Yeah, in Cameroon, we had close to 200 members there just in Cameroon. And that's one of many, many countries. So, there's still those like-minded folks that want to go out to other places and help people. And yeah, I attribute all my success. I attribute my marriage to the Peace Corps because that's where I met my wife,
Oh my
and
gosh.
and
Wow.
my dog and my dog. I got my dog
Wow.
while I was in the Peace Corps. He's still here today.
That is fantastic. And
Yeah.
look what came from that, aside from uh your marriage, your dog, but seeing other parts of the world and knowing that you're making a
Yes.
difference.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. It
That,
was a life-changing experience. It really, there's only so many experiences in life where you get to say it blew my mind. And it does do that. The Peace Corps does have that effect, I think, no
Hmm.
matter where you go.
Thank you for sharing that. Like, it's so cool. Um, let's say I came before you and yeah, call it middle age, whatever it might be. And I said, Mike, I got to get back on track. What's the three
Mhm.
most important, call it starting points? I don't want to use the word easy, but easiest to start. What would the
Mhm.
top three things be, the advice you would give somebody?
Yeah. I think top three things. One is let's do some assessment together. Let's see where you're at.
Okay.
We have to find your foundation, your current baseline, and work off of that. And that's just evidence based. So I'm not going to tell you to go out and start, oh, let's start doing 50 squats, let's start doing 100 push-ups, let's start just changing your entire diet. I don't think it works that way. Because
Mm,
if you try to make all those changes, guess what? Your body is going to want to switch back to some other things because that's just how our bodies work. So we got to find a baseline and go incremental changes. So let's do some assessments together, see where your baseline is, and let's build a foundation. Two, change takes time, especially when you're doing what I try to offer, which is no gimmicks, no fads, no quick diets, no quick, big time changes or weight loss or whatever it may be. Um, it's gonna take some time. So we got
mm,
to work together and know that it's a marathon, not a sprint, and it's gonna take some time to develop new habits, develop these changes over time, and that will set you up for longer success.
mm.
And the last point I guess I would make is, yeah, dedication. Keep your mind on the big picture and try to be consistent. Consistency is what leads to these changes. I'm not saying you have to do it every single day. I'm saying let's build a routine together, whether it's 1 day a week, 2 days a week, starting out and build off that. It could be 10 minutes, 5, 10 minutes a day, is what I tell some clients and people. Let's start with a brisk walk and go from there. And then we keep building. We keep building. So, and that's what it takes. It takes like not jumping in and saying, oh, I'm going to do an hour and a half of vigorous exercise a day, 5 times a week. You do that the first week starting out, and I don't think you're going to want to come back the next week. So I'm telling you to do the opposite. Let's do 5 minutes a day. Let's work together on that. Let's see how you feel after it. And then let's build on something and build and build and build. And then before you know it, you might be running marathons.
Nice.
And
It's a
yeah.
challenge on number two there in terms of how long it's going to take because we're so programmed. I call it the Amazon world. You press the button, depending on where you are. It's here by
Oh,
2 p.m. So it's like, let's go. I want it now. I want it now. Um,
yes.
and to your point, I used to love jogging back in the day, and I would find that it would get me in shape. That would be my cardio. I'd lose weight,
Hmm.
relatively fast compared to other things. So I don't know, about 3 weeks ago, I was like, I'm going jogging. And I'm going to admit, I didn't stretch the way I should have. Okay, so I didn't stretch at all. I'm going to admit that. Uh, and I hit the road, and I love being outside. And where I live, we have a road. Well, you're on Long Island as well. I'm in the center of Long
Yeah,
Island, and
right.
they call it the Seven Sisters. It's seven big hills, the highest point of Long Island. I hadn't jogged in like a year and change. Um, yeah, I got maybe halfway through those, and then I'm jogging, walking, jogging, walking. Um, hamstring felt some discomfort. Haven't jogged in three
Mm,
weeks because I
mm.
didn't. What did I? I've got hitting the pavement. Let's go. Let's go. Let's
Yeah,
go. I
yeah.
didn't plan for it. I didn't stretch. I wasn't intentional. It's a lesson. You forget. You forget those things, but that's why you need a
I'm
coach.
yeah, I'm gonna go tackle all 7 hills right now. And I'm gonna say to you, hey, let's start with one hill and
Yeah.
see how you feel.
Yeah.
And yes, and I my biggest thing, one of the biggest things I tell everyone is we got to warm the body up. It helps prevent injuries. We got to warm up.
Yeah.
5 minutes. Take 3 to 5 minutes. Move your body gently, and then let's get into tackling that hill. And you may not do all 7 hills today, but let's build on it and do all 7 hills in a couple weeks, in a couple months. Let's see how your body takes it step by step.
Mike, do you feel it's mindset as well? Because I look at I know we need to stretch. I know we need to warm up. It's kind of
Yeah.
boring. You just want to get to it. But is
Yes.
it just changing the mindset where you think of that warm up and that stretching and all that as part of all of it, not a separate part, of the activity, if that makes sense?
Yes, I think we do need to change the mindset. I think, American culture and how we view health and wellness and fitness and exercise, we need several mindset changes. But the first is knowing that it is a full every time you are going out to do something healthy, to do some physical activity, know that it's one part of a several step process. And the first part of that should be, well, let me prepare my body for this strenuous activity I want to do. I don't want to just jump into it because then my hamstrings might feel a little discomfort or
Mm.
other parts of my body aren't going to like it. So let me first get my body ready. Let's spend a couple minutes together, get the body ready. If that's just doing some light cardio at a lower level,
Hmm.
25, 50% effort, or if it's just gently moving the body in other ways, and then know, like, okay, my body feels warm. You're going to feel the difference because you're going to feel good after that. You're going to be like, okay, I am feeling warm. I'm feeling good. I think I can tackle this right now. So it becomes part of the process. I understand it can be a little boring. Um, over the years, I've accepted that boringness, and
Yes.
and and I thrive in it now. I look more forward to that part of getting ready because I know my body is gonna like be able to tackle it better. You're going to be performance better. There's a reason why all these professional athletes, in the NFL, football season's back, so I love talking about this. Those they will spend 30, 40 an hour on just getting ready to play the game.
Mm. Yeah.
And they got top-notch coaches telling them exactly what they need to do. Like, this is what you need to do to get ready. And there's a reason why they arrive at the stadium hours before it starts. And it's not just so we can see them, it's because they got to get ready. They got to get ready. So if you want performance, you got to get ready.
It's part of the workout. It's part of the workout, but we don't
A
perceive it
big
to be
part.
that way. You have a background in kinesiology, right?
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
2 degrees.
Wow. That word comes up quite often. For those of us that don't know, can you explain what it is?
Kinesiology is the study of the body movements, of how the human body moves. So it is a big part of health and wellness. You take a lot of anatomy, a lot of physiology. Kinesiology and physiology are intertwined in that way. And you really learn in depth on how the body moves, what the body does, the functions of your organs, your tissues, your muscles.
Wow.
I mean, just weeks and weeks of studying muscles and what they do. And when you learn how the body moves, that helps you understand, what health means overall. And that's why I intertwined it with public health and wellness as a minor, to fully try to grasp, what it means to have a healthy body. So, so yeah,
It
it
would
does take some
probably,
time.
you know what, Mike, if not, I'm not saying we do this because we have so much going on, but imagine if everybody, when they were in school, took a class in that to realize how muscles work. For example, and I going very basic here, but for example, when you contract a muscle, there's a pull, but then there's a release on the other side of it. All that, how it's all working together probably would be helping us if, in our fitness journey, if you wanted to work out and all of that, if you had that background. But that's fantastic that you have that background and know.
Yeah, I think it's in at times undervalued, but underused area of study. So it should be incorporated in most health and public health classes,
Yeah.
from high school or before and onwards. So a lot of people aren't learning about how muscles function and how your body functions, physiology as well, until you're in college already. And then a lot of people come in with a set path, so they don't always take those classes in college either.
Right.
So that's where you get in these areas where you have very, very smart, talented people that don't understand how their bodies are working and what it means to have a healthy body and how these organs and tissues and everything works, to a certain degree. So yeah, I think
Mm.
an intro class in younger ages would be excellent just because it's going to help you. It's going to help you. I mean, I took, like I said, I got into this field of study, because of my dad and what he went through. But also, I want to understand my own body and my own injuries that I had. I'm a big time soccer player, love soccer, played my whole life, and that comes with injuries. And I want to understand what's going on and
Yeah.
how can I still improve myself as I age and as my body changes. I have two kids now, so I want to make sure, I can play around and do things with my kids for as long as possible, and be able to do everything I want to do with them. And that takes understanding what your body does and how it feels after you do strenuous activity and work.
Isn't it amazing that we put this focus on AI and robots? And I see so many different reels of, robots being developed to deliver your food, the DoorDash. Okay, great. Look what we've got. Look at these machines that are we. Like it's amazing when you think about the human body from digestion to movement to healing. Many believe the body it can heal itself. Just give it what it needs. It'll take care of it. It'll do all of that. Mike, fantastic talking with you. Like so much insight just getting into this. And you seem so grounded and so focused on your passion of helping people. Very refreshing. Even even just the Peace Corps discovery, just really cool. You can work with anybody anywhere on the planet, right?
Yes, yes, that is a foundation of this company. I can work with just about anybody. I have programs I can develop for youths, all the way up to I have specialties from my master's degree with older adults. So I've worked with older adults a lot of my life, in my career, and I can develop very good programs for mobility, balance, and going into nutrition and some other foundational wellness topics. So
I would love
yeah,
to get into nutrition next time we get together. Could we do that?
absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah,
So many questions.
so many.
Like
I don't know how many answers I have, but I will give my best.
I'm gonna make myself look good just for one day. I made a salad. This doesn't happen often.
Hey,
First time in like 2 weeks, but I figured let's
you
reset.
want to do deep analysis on your lunch next time? I'm happy to do so.
Ooh, well, you know what? I think that's a great idea, and I'm not going to. I'm just going to have for lunch what I'm going to have for lunch. I'm not going to,
Yep.
show up. Well, hey, well, Mike, I've got a salad here and there's
Yeah,
grilled
yeah.
chicken. No, whatever presents. It could be good, could be bad, but we'll get there when we get there.
No, no, let's be realistic because
Yeah,
that's what I offer people, especially with the nutrition stuff, because
yeah,
there's so much bad information out there. I offer, with all the things I do, realistic plans. Let's get down to what's realistic for you.
yeah.
And that's what I try to help people with because I mean, what are we doing if we're not going to be realistic about it?
Yeah, and you want to be happy too. You know,
Exactly.
how do
Exactly.
we find you? What's your website?
RedmondWellnessCo.com. There's a free assessment on there, and you get a free consultation when you complete the assessment. And that's the best way to reach me. They'll send direct emails to me and notifications to me that you're on the website and you've done that and you're ready to go. And then
Excellent.
we can chat after. Yeah.
All right. It's a free conversation to start. You might learn something even in that conversation about fitness, nutrition, and even yourself. Mike, thank you so much for being here today. Thank you for all of your efforts within the Peace Corps, and truly looking forward next time we get together.
Yeah, I am too. Thanks so much for having me today, Steve.
Thank you. We'll be right back.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.